I know you guys have been really enjoying the Demon Slayer content, and don't worry, we'll get right back to that as soon as possible. I'm so excited about the Demon Slayer game, and I wish I could just talk about it all the time, but in this case, we have to talk about something else. I wanted to take the time to talk about Pirate Warriors 4, a game which released less than a week ago now. This is my first Warriors or Musou game I've played in almost a decade, which is pretty crazy. And honestly, I'm surprised about how much I've enjoyed it. I haven't been able to play it a lot because I've been working a lot on my Demon Slayer videos, and because that takes up so much time, I've only had like an hour or two of free time each day, and I've been using that hour or two of free time to work on extra videos. But what I have played of Pirate Warriors 4 so far, which is about 5 to 7 hours or so, somewhere in that window, that time has been really enjoyable. I've been playing on PlayStation 4 mostly because my Nintendo Switch Collector's Edition hasn't arrived yet, and it probably won't arrive for some time. But once that arrives, I intend to play quite a bit of the game on Nintendo Switch just because it's portable. I can play it in bed while I watch a movie or something like that before I go to sleep. So that kind of lets me play the game a little more than I would in my normal schedule. And that's generally why I enjoy using my Switch over my PS4. But because I got the Collector's Edition, I have to wait for shipping and all that other stuff. So I've been using my digital copy of the game on PlayStation 4. And it seems a little bit silly to sink my teeth into the PlayStation 4 version if I'm not intending to stay there long term. And I intend to switch over to Pirate Warriors 4 on Nintendo Switch. Despite that, I keep finding myself going back to Pirate Warriors 4 on PlayStation 4, even though I know that's not where I'm going to be in the long run, just because I've been having so much fun with it. It's surprisingly addictive, even for a person like me who doesn't spend a lot of time in single player games. Generally, I prefer spending my time in online games that are competitive, at least in some respect. So I find very little time for single player games. But Pirate Warriors 4 does more than enough to occupy my time and still keep me entertained. I do have one gripe with the game, and it's a pretty big gripe. It's the damn camera. The game aesthetically is centered on the crazy action that's going on, the big spectacle of things. But during large portions of the most exciting moments of the game, I can hardly see what's going on. That extends itself all the way into super moves. Most of the time when you do one of the big flashy super moves that the game has to offer, the camera doesn't even pick up on a lot of it. My personal recommendation for this type of system would be to adjust it to a more cinematic super move, almost like what we expect to see in arena fighters like the Storm series, One's Justice, games like that. You wouldn't be able to show the hordes of enemy on screen as this cinematic attack happens, so you're taking away a little bit of the flavor. The function would still remain the same. You would deal damage in a large area, but I think the trade-off is way better. I think a lot of people would prefer that kind of cinematic experience because at least you would actually be able to see what's happening. It's really not a big deal, but I think it would be a big upgrade compared to what we have now. Apart from that and the issue with the camera, I really have no complaints about this game, honestly. I initially wasn't even planning to do a video about Pirate Warriors 4, especially with all the Demon Slayer talk that's happening on this channel right now, and I'm also trying to juggle One's Justice content. I felt obligated to do at least one video about Pirate Warriors 4 because I saw so much misinformation about this game, it actually offended me. When this game first came out, you might have heard rumors or initial reports from people, and I'm still seeing a lot of people confused about those initial reports, so I want to clear it up in this video. The misinformation I'm talking about is whether or not 4-player co-op is in the game. If you remember, there was a really awesome Pirate Warriors 4 trailer that was shown off a while ago, and you might remember that they announced 4-player co-op as a feature of this game. People have been screaming about false advertisement, and a lot of anti-Bandai Namco sentiment has been thrown around. I can't tell if these people just hate Bandai Namco that much, or if they just don't care about the game. But regardless of why this misinformation spread so quickly, the game does have 4-player co-op. I don't know where that rumor started, but I saw a lot of it online, and I needed to clear it up. The game absolutely supports 4-player co-op, and the initial claim that it didn't was completely fabricated. The game supports both 4-player co-op and 2-player co-op, depending on the mission that you're playing. Some missions only allow 2-player co-op because 4-player co-op is not supported, right? This mission doesn't have the scale for it. The menu for online is kind of bad. While you're in the main menu, you need to open up the online menu, accept the function of recruiting, then go into a mission, and then from there, people can join your session. Both random people who you don't know can join, and friends can also join. You can also invite people from that menu. It works for the most part. It's a little bit awkward, but I'll tell you what, it's really damn fun when you get it to work. And of course, by the nature of a Musou game or a Warriors game, after many hours, it does start to get a little bit repetitive, but trying out new characters and playing with friends is an easy way to spice things up. Do I recommend Pirate Warriors 4? Absolutely. If you're a One Piece fan, there's no reason for this to not be in your library. If you like Warriors and Musou games, then I absolutely recommend it as well. Now, if you you hate Musou games or you hate One Piece, well then this probably doesn't belong in your library and you can choose to pick up a different game. But assuming that you're okay with both the genre and the source material, I don't see a reason for this not to be in your library. I'll say that there's not a lot of depth to the game, it's mostly just fun action, but as long as you're having fun with it, there's nothing wrong with that. I suppose I'll mention it now because every time I do a One Piece video, I get questions about where I am in the story. Now, I know I initially vowed to catch up on One Piece before the game came out. I did not manage to do that. I kept getting busy, and then I was like, okay, don't worry, I'll start reading again next week. And I kept postponing it, and instead what I decided to do is to take my time with One Piece. I already am familiar with a bunch of spoilers that happen, so I'm not too concerned about spoilers. But the nice thing about One Piece is there's so much of it. I've just decided that, I'm gonna take my time, and at the rate that I'm going, I'm basically never going to run out of One Piece because there's going to be new chapters by the time I'm fully caught up, and it's going to be nice to always have One Piece to be able to fall back on as like something I enjoy. Where all my other favorite series, I run out of content very quickly. With Demon Slayer, I've already caught up with the manga. My Hero Academia, I'm caught up with the manga. I have to wait a year before I get more Ruby. I'm not reading the Attack on Titan manga because I'm waiting for the anime. So having a bunch of chapters to go back to for One Piece feels good. I don't know what chapter I'm on because I read by volume, but I'm up to the arc that's like directly after the time skip. And I know as soon as I say that, I'm gonna have a bunch of people who are like, Bilbsy, what are you doing playing the game? It's gonna spoil you. I'm already familiar with pretty much all of the spoilers, okay? One Piece is completely spoiled for me. I'm sure there's like a little bit here and there that I don't know about, but I'm pretty familiar with the plot without watching it. So, it is how it is. Again, I wasn't initially going to do this video because it's basically just me coming up here and saying, the game's great, but all that stuff about the game not having 4-player co-op was just kind of really annoying for me to see in my comment section. I didn't like that at all. It was so frustrating to see that information that was just wrong had spread so quickly, and I didn't want anyone in my audience to be confused. The game absolutely supports 4-player co-op as advertised. Anyway, I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. My name has been Bilbsy. I hope you have a fantastic and safe day. I'll catch you in the next video.